Good afternoon, friends. Thank you so much for tuning in. This is San Diego Market Movers on Real Talk San Diego, and I'm your host, Claire McKee. As always, the show is presented by our loyal partners at 5 Star Escrow and Stewart Title, and you know we have an amazing show for you today. I am joined by not one, but two amazing ladies who are both brokers, which I think is super badass, I'm not going to lie. So, Kay Bates is here. She's a broker owner with Bates Realty and Property Management. Hi, how are you?
Good, how are you?
Good. Are you excited to be here?
I am so excited to be
So
here.
excited. Well, we're going to have a lot of fun, so I'm glad you're ready for it. And joining us also is Kelly Marug, and she is a broker with United Real Estate San Diego. Hey, Kelly.
Hey.
How are you?
Awesome, as always.
I feel like you're always awesome. Like, you're a ball of energy, and I love that. It's going to make my life a lot easier.
Good.
So we're going to have some fun. Cool.
Yeah.
So I gave you a little sneak peek. You got to give me a fun fact about yourself to start off the show. So, Kay, I'm going to come to you first. What's a fun fact about you?
I was once a flight attendant.
You were once a flight attendant.
Yes. She's already laughing.
She likes that. Yeah.
Okay, I was a flight attendant.
This is kind of actually a question I have planned for later, but this is a great segue. Where's the coolest place you've traveled to?
I would say Montreal.
Okay.
Montreal would definitely be one of the funnest places I've been. It was in the late 80s, early 90s, and it definitely was a different place. It was a mini Vegas where everybody spoke French.
What?
But like so fun and almost like the French feeling like you're in Paris or somewhere because
Okay.
everybody's speaking French
Yeah.
and just, I mean,
Before
just
they had the
culture.
Paris Hotel in
Yes.
Vegas, right?
That's right. That's funny. Have you been recently?
No, I have not been to Toronto or actually Canada for a while. It's probably been about 10 years.
Yeah, I would
Yep.
say the same. That's really cool, though. Kelly, what's a fun fact about yourself?
I am actually a biochemist by trade.
A bio?
So-
right? I said the same
Wow.
thing. Oh.
I've got the inner nerd.
Wow.
Yep. I just
Have
camouflage
you
it.
ever met such like a feisty biochemist?
No, I would think, are you sure?
Are you sure about that? Are you?
Your alter ego.
Yes, it is my alter ego.
you
We used to joke, in the lab, especially as women would joke and would say, "Oh, well, yeah, I work at the." When we'd meet men, we would never say we were biochemists. We'd say, "Well, I work at the Gap."
I work at the Gap. Do you like me more for that? It's probably intimidating, though.
Yeah, I would
You
think.
know?
I would think. It's a great field. I love research, and I did in vitro efficacy with human cell lines. It's a lot of fun. It's a lot of work.
Oh my God.
It's incredible.
But yeah, different.
So I'm gonna follow up with the same question. Where is the coolest place that you've ever traveled to?
Oh gosh, I would say probably Cancun. Going to Chichen Itza. I feel like, in a sense, I'm a little bit more of an old soul. Like, I love the history of that area, the pyramids, and
incredible.
it's absolutely amazing, and the beauty of that part of Mexico is absolutely amazing.
Absolutely. What is your favorite animal, Kelly?
Well, popular or not popular, I love deer. My husband and I grew up on a San Isabel reservation, and we grew up hunting deer. And although I'm an animal activist and an animal lover, I also, my husband and I also hunt, and we eat everything that we hunt. And so deer have always been one of my favorite animals.
Yeah. Do you have any deer heads on your wall at home?
I do. We have an elk, and we have my first deer, and we have my husband's Thule elk.
Total like random fun fact about myself. My grandpa and my dad were a member of the Elks Club where I'm from in Ohio, and so of course there's a massive like elk head on the wall. And so
Hello, I'm an elk member.
Are you?
El Cajon Elks.
Yay! So
Shout out to the El Cajon Elks Lodge.
I love it. So like I grew up as a kid like in a bar with all these like older people, like all smoky when you could still
Stiff
smoke
drinks.
inside. Yeah. Oh my best cheeseburgers.
Yes.
Yep. Yep. So fun fact, but yeah, I used to be like a little kid and be like, that's not a moose, it's an elk. Like I could
Right, you're like, no, that's
my
a
God.
people would look at me like, what?
that's a Rocky Mountain elk. That's not a Thule elk. Like,
Oh my God.
Exactly. So that's awesome. Okay, same question for you. Favorite animal, okay?
My favorite animal would have to be a dog.
A dog, I know.
Yeah.
We don't deserve them. I really don't think so.
No.
They're the
Yeah.
best ever.
especially
They're
rescue
best.
dogs.
Yeah, we have 3
Do
right
you?
now. So
Tell me all about them.
oh my gosh, we have Shadow, Samson, and Soja. My husband made
Soja.
Soja. So Samson is a wolf mixed with German Shepherd, and we believe he has some pit bull.
Get
But he's
out.
spotted. He almost looks like a lab. I mean, he's huge. He's probably about 100 pounds.
Wow.
He's huge. But the beautiful, like, he's almost human. Like, he can understand, like, he talks to
Yeah.
you.
Yeah.
Soja is a stray that we've adopted,
Oh.
and he's the ugliest dog.
But he knows that you rescued him.
Right, and he's
Yep.
so humble and thankful,
Grateful.
and really grateful.
Yeah.
So he's always like, oh gosh, thank you for the food. He eats everything in sight though.
Aw.
But really cool dog.
He's kind of a hot mess, but
Yeah.
you love him
He's a
anyway.
hot mess, yeah.
Like our husbands.
Yeah.
Right. Oh, no, she
She
went
said
there.
it. She said it.
Oh my God. And then we have Shadow, and Shadow is like a 14-pound. We rescued him, like a Karen Terrier mix. He looks like Toto, an overweight
Aw.
Toto currently.
Little chunky
But,
Toto.
yeah, he's chunky. But he's like our shadow. Anywhere we go, he's there.
Aw.
If we go left, he's there. And he waits for me to come home. He knows the difference between my husband and myself. So my husband, he'll lay flat like this. And then when I get home, he's at the door. Like,
They pick their humans.
Isn't
Yeah.
that incredible?
Yeah.
Or
Oh,
they
he
like,
loves me.
They know your cars and they know when you
Oh,
come home.
yeah.
Like they are so smart.
yeah.
Yeah.
Really
So-
cool. Okay, so we're like I said, we're all over the place. We're just breaking the ice. Like there's
Yeah.
there's no rhythm. You're rhyme or reason. What is the best advice you guys have ever received? Whoever wants to go first.
Oh.
I know that's kind of deep, right?
Do you want to go first? Or you want me to go?
Go.
The one that I've had that stuck with me is give people what they want, and you'll always get what you want.
I love that.
Yeah. And I've tried to practice that. I mean, I've not tried, I am practicing that. I always try to reach out and make sure that I'm giving people what they want. Because it necessarily doesn't mean that it's about me. It isn't always about me.
Yeah.
Give people what they want.
It'll always come back
And
to
always
you.
come back.
It
Yeah.
does. True.
Yeah. And of course, you know, if you love what you do, you'll never work a day in your life.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Seems like there's a theme here, right?
Yeah, absolutely. And what we do, I mean, you know, I think what separates great realtors from okay realtors is really that connection to our clients and believing and knowing that we are changing their lives. We're not selling them a house, we're changing their lives.
Oh, God, well said.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, last question for you before we start talking biz. Name one item on your bucket list. What do you got to do? What's next? What has to be done before you leave this particular human journey?
Yeah. How do we put it to one, right? I mean,
No, I'm
You
like,
can tell me
one
100
item.
if a bunch of things come to mind. The idea of this is just spew whatever comes out. So there's no right or wrong. What are you thinking?
One of the items on my list is to definitely speak in front of a large audience.
Okay.
Yeah.
You're going to do it.
Oh, absolutely.
like a women's conference
Yeah.
or something.
You know, it could be
Absolutely.
anything, but definitely, you know, women, inspiring, motivating, just that kind of
You'll make it
platform.
happen, no
Oh,
doubt.
absolutely. Yeah.
Holly,
Right.
what about you?
After
Yeah.
this,
Yeah.
Yeah, we got
About to be
this.
world famous, girl.
Yeah.
Wait until they
Yes.
get off the show. They'll answer their phones then.
yeah.
Yes. Well, I have a 4-year-old, and one of the things that we really pride ourselves on with our 4-year-old is having her travel and see other cultures, and just really getting an understanding of, you know, what it's like to grow up in the United States versus anywhere else in the world.
Absolutely.
It's really hard for young people to understand what we have here. And so we really, you know, some of the things we like to do is to travel outside of the country
That's cool.
and really see that, and continuing to give back. It's just,
Yeah.
it's so important for us just to teach our children, whether they're our own children, our friends' children, our nieces and nephews, our grandchildren, just the value of what they have and what they can give to others, not what they can get from others.
Not to mention how much you can, though, learn from others by being around people who are different from you and have
Yes.
different cultures and practices, and how much you can take that in and take little pieces of it with you, you know?
Yes,
I mean,
absolutely.
ultimately, we're just all the same, so I love that. Well, guys, we are just getting started, so if you're with us, make sure you click follow on our live feed so you can be notified every single time we go live. And really, that's the best thing about being live, is that we get to interact with you, our audience. So if you have a question for Kay or Kelly, or if you just want to say hi and give us a shout out, we will give you a shout out right back. So make sure you drop us a comment below. And JCW, aka Justin Cody Warden, aka Jody, says, ask Claire about her 15 cats.
Oh,
That's a lie, Jody. It's a lie. I actually just went through a cat divorce, if you will. So I have 2 cats, and my ex-boyfriend had 2 cats. So we were living in a home of 4 cats.
Okay.
So that's what he's referring to, but not for long. So yeah, you heard it here first. So we are going to dive right in with Kay Bates, who is the broker and owner of Bates Realty and Property Management. And you have such a cool history, and you joked when we spoke on the phone that your history has kind of been like a carnival. And I thought that was so cute and hilarious. So can you tell me about the carnival ride that ultimately got you into real estate?
it is a carnival. And the reason it's a carnival, well, so I'm from Trinidad and Tobago, and the greatest show on earth happens in Trinidad, and it's Carnival. And I kind of related it to that because it kind of took me all around different areas to really get where I am today. And I started, so I'm into an accounting. I have an accounting background, and I started in 1992 at Capital Growth Properties in La Jolla. And I started as an accountant, which that's what anybody would see me as, because I'm not this outgoing person. And so I started as an accountant, and soon I saw these salespeople going, oh gosh, like what is that about? And I learned more about the properties.
I could do that, right?
No, I never
Oh,
thought
no?
I could do that. I'm like, oh gosh, I like behind the scenes, but why are they always jumping up? Why are they always celebrating? We don't ever celebrate. There's
Right.
nothing to celebrate. It's just like, okay, yeah, you did that right. Nothing to celebrate. But the owner had such an impact on me. He would bring me into his office and tell me what the real estate market was about. In the 90s, I guess there was one of the times when the foreclosure market was pretty hot, and so he'd just tell me all about it. Even though we were a commercial company, he had his pulse on everything. He had his pulse on single family home, residential, commercial, land. He just had his hand on everything, and that really piqued my interest. And I soon left there just for the need. I like to grow, so I like to try new things and explore. And keeping on the same track as far as accounting, went to a development firm.
Okay.
And of course, at this time, I'm not linking anything. I'm just thinking, oh, this development firm, I want to go check it out.
Put this tool in my tool belt,
and I was the controller there for Barone Galasso and Associates downtown, worked with CCDC, did some amazing budgets, and worked on loan draws, and understood the whole process of how you could really build a structure, from land and from the ground up. And so I really got to understand it because they kept me involved in everything they were doing. And after that, it's like, oh gosh, driving downtown is like hard every day from Escondido. I got to get something else, like in North County. And I found a home at GMS Realty, which is a commercial brokerage, large brokerage. Their investors were like big names, Morgan Stanley. So it was a very large, high asset company. And I got in again as an accountant, and all of these jobs have been real estate related. They're all portfolio driven, what property is doing what, performas, and which was part of my task.
Sure.
And then I started training the property managers. They would all fly in from different parts of California, and I trained them, and the owner just saw so much in me. I think he saw more than I saw in myself. And he told me, he goes, get your license, you can hang it here, because you just never know when, you're training these property managers, you could step into that role, or maybe you can be a salesperson or a leasing agent. And I thought, okay, I'll just get the license, but this just isn't me.
Yeah.
I would do this, work with Ernst & Young, I did a lot of different little things. That's why it's a carnival, to say the least, right? And
So you're like, I'll get my license and I'll humor you, but
Oh,
I'm
yeah.
not really going to do anything
that was
with
it. I was
Like,
just, and at that time, he had all these different investors that would come in, and I would be in the meetings and my boss wouldn't be. I'm thinking, well, she should be in here because she has her pulse on everything as well. But I think I was getting prepared for something larger than that. And I got my license, I believe, in 2002, 2004. I just thought, I should step out on the big, step out into the world, see
Yes.
what this other thing's about. And so I did. I went to, it was Red Carpet Realty at the time, and got my first sale, and That's it. That's my carnival.
That's your
Moving
carnival.
all over the place, doing different things, wearing different hats, but still the one common thread was real estate.
And it's amazing. I mean, it truly was just a stepping stone to
Oh.
lead you right to where ultimately
Exactly.
you need to be.
Yeah.
And those people in our lives that can see that in you when sometimes we don't recognize it in ourselves, like, are you not forever grateful? I know I am
Oh,
for those sort of
gosh.
people as well.
I even dropped Bill Garrity's name quite a bit because he's the person who, I mean, he pulled me outside of my comfort zone, put me in front of people, had me stand up and teach a class or call me into a meeting when he had the big investors in there. And I'm like, why would I know this? You know, why are you putting me on the spot? But yeah, it definitely prepared me for the larger scale.
You deserved a seat at the table. So tell me about your real estate business as it stands today. What does that look like? And what is it like when somebody works with you from a client perspective?
From a client perspective, well, I should say first, so my brokerage is pretty small. I actually have a new realtor joining us today, so I'm going to give her a shout out.
Let's do it.
Yes, so
Shout
Lauren
out.
Poole is joining us today. So welcome, Lauren.
Welcome, Lauren.
Hey, Lauren.
Yeah, so we're so excited to have her on board. So now there's going to be 3 of us, and I do have a TC.
Okay.
I have one assistant, and we're going to have Lauren. We're small, in-house, and we're family. So we're
Love that.
our main goal and our motto is expect excellence. Excellence in everything that we do. And we want to ask at the end of the call, at the end of the meeting, have I met all your needs? If I haven't, if there's something I forgot, please let me know. If there's something I can do better, if I forgot, please let me, because feedback is the breakfast of champions.
Yeah.
I want to know so I can step up my game.
Yep.
And right now we have a couple coming soon. We have a couple things in escrow right now. We're doing great. We just got top 5% San Diego County for 2018, the silver.
Congrats.
So it's really good. I'm happy. I'm excited. I know we have great things coming where we're going to do fine this year. Our goals are very lofty,
Yes.
but we're going to meet them.
Yes.
I'm convinced.
Yeah, you are.
Yeah.
All you got to do is put it out in the universe. You'll make it happen.
Absolutely.
It's
Yes.
very clear the reason she's so successful. All this background was all leading up to this, and that's what makes you do good for your clients is because you have that background, and it's really to your client's advantage.
Yeah. And my clients, they absolutely love me. I just got a gift last week from one of my clients. And I mean, how many times in this business does a client,
It's rare.
send you a gift? You know, she sent me a dozen dipped strawberries saying thank you for all the work you did. And that like really touched my heart because there's so much work that goes in. And most people think it's just showing the house. I think anybody can find a house.
Right.
But being an advocate for a client, understanding your fiduciary duty to that client, and understanding that at the end of the day, everybody wants to feel heard. They want to feel understood. They want to feel that you're on their side. It's such a life-changing thing. It's not just about a piece of real estate. And my goal is to really, in this transaction with that person, there's a reason why I'm working with them, and how can I motivate, inspire them, and at the same time get them on their goals so that they can actually accomplish their family's desire.
Yeah, well, and you're really connecting with people. Like,
Yeah.
it really is a relationship. It's
Absolutely.
not just, you need a house, I'm going to get you that house. There's
Right.
so much that goes on in between there. And
Yeah,
so,
I want a paycheck. It's
Right.
for me,
It's
not
not
even
the
about
financial
paycheck
transaction.
at all.
Right.
Yeah, I don't even look at the commission. The commission is nothing. I treat people all the same. If you're buying a $50,000 manufactured home, mobile home, or you're buying a $5 million home, I mean, we all put our pants on the same way. You get
Amen,
treated the same
sister.
way. Yeah.
amen. I love that. So, I thought it was great. You said too, I just want to add this in. You thrive on other people being happy.
Absolutely.
And when other people are happy, that makes you happy. So it just all
Yeah.
comes back. I love that. Just pay it forward. So as far as your business is concerned, are you all over San Diego? Do you have like a specialty? Like, where can we find you?
I am all over San Diego. And the reason for that is, to me, I'm in the relationship business. I'm not in the demographic business. Like, I only do this area because I know it best.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, just like some of my clients with their homes, I have to go like an actor, right? You have to study the part, you have to know the role, you have to know what's expected. I go and I study the area, I study the house, I know, what the sales are. I mean, we all have that capacity to learn and grow. So, I mean, I use that to my advantage, and I want to sell anything that can be sold anywhere it's available to be sold.
Yeah. Whatever people need, right?
Whatever
You'll
you
meet
need.
them where they are.
Yeah.
So I think this is amazing, and I just want to give you some kudos because you were featured in San Diego Woman, the magazine, as an inspirational feature, and they called you a realtor with a purpose. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
So I do have a purpose. Well, we all have a purpose,
We
right?
do. Yes.
Everybody has a purpose. So like I said, I'm from Trinidad and Tobago, and obviously growing up, I didn't grow up here, so my values are a little different. My values are, it is instilled in me the things, and when we came here, we realized it's a total different world. A lot of people are out for themselves. I really feel in this culture, my background and my upbringing suits me fine as far as when I interact with other people, I really feel that I can change somebody's life. I really feel that I'm going to impact them. And sometimes they impact me. And most of the times it's always a give and take relationship. I meet so many clients at the end of the day, we're best friends, or they're constantly behind me. Make a day so we can go have lunch or do something because I want to give back to you what you gave to me. If I can touch one person's life, one at a time, one house at a time, that's what I'm here to do.
That's amazing. So I'm glad you brought up the Trinidad and Tobago thing again, because I wanted to ask you, how do you think that being born and raised there, that shifts your perspective? I mean, how does that affect your client experience, for example?
The one thing that's different for me is understanding people, looking at how, and you mentioned it earlier with your children, realizing that you can be here and not really interact with other people of different cultures, and so that's why you travel out. The different culture experience I've had in Trinidad, I think to me was a little bit broader. We had a different variety of people, and so coming here and realizing that some people, different groups kind of segregated, realizing that if we're all the same, cut deep, we're all the same. If we can integrate and we can blend and be of service to others, we can leave this place better than we met it. So my core values, the honesty, integrity, being respectful, showing up on time, making sure that when I show up, I show up.
Yeah.
I don't just show up and play small.
Show up physically and
Exactly.
mentally.
Show
You're
up
out
big.
there.
Show up big. You gotta be big. This is not a dress rehearsal.
You're right.
We're here.
We're here. It's happening.
Exactly.
And you're either here or you're not,
or
right?
you're not, yeah.
That's amazing. So don't forget, if you have questions, we are live, so drop us a comment below. We'd love to hear from you. And you know what we're doing today? We're leaving it a little bit better than we found it. That's the name of the game. I love that so much. So, Kay, you mentioned you have a real estate class coming up this month, right? February 23rd?
February 23rd. It's going to be in Oceanside. It's going to be on our Facebook page. We're putting it out today, so I can't say the location, but it's coming on today on Facebook. So watch for it, and then we'll definitely, if you link us on your page, we'll post it. We'll post a flyer. We still have to just reserve the place, so they want us to put it out first and then do the paperwork.
You heard it here first, though. There's the teaser for you, so you have to go to Kay's Facebook page, which is?
Yes, Kay Bates Realtor.
Kay Bates Realtor.
Yeah.
Really
Are you going to give us a snippet of what it's about? Or?
So it's going to be on.
Don't leave us hanging.
I
Kay.
know. I was going to try to really, but okay. So it's going to be on purchasing using your VA. So for geared towards the military families. The lender I'm doing it with is Buddy Green, and Buddy Green also has a passion for helping families like the VA, making sure we give back to them.
Yes.
And we're going to change it up. So it's not just how to purchase a house with 100% financing. Why is it important? Why is it even important to purchase a home? I mean, what is that about? Is it about the legacy you want to leave, or you just want to purchase a home because everybody's buying a home?
Yeah.
Everybody doesn't really need to buy a home. So why, we want to do education. Education is foremost, why you should buy a house, what are the benefits? How can you buy a house? Do you really have to have, is it really 0% down? Because, there is a misconception on down payment versus closing costs. So just a lot of education.
Is there a cost to attend?
It's free, and we're going to have food and drinks. Yeah, what more
Can't
can you
beat
want?
that.
It's
Can't beat that.
And you're going to get fed and drinks while you're there.
Yeah.
And
Food and
Oceanside, one
drinks.
of the largest military towns in the entire United States, so it's
Yes.
probably a perfect place for that.
And I want to give a shout out to Buddy Green because he actually hosted a radio show with us when we were back on ESPN. So what's up, Buddy? I haven't
Yeah.
seen or heard from you in a long time. So, Kay, you have to let him know you did this show, and then we gave him a little shout out.
Yes, I will.
Yeah,
I'm gonna
absolutely.
Tag him on our video too.
Yes, please. So if you want more information about Kay, you can find her at kbatesrealtor.com, and it's just the letter K, right? So it's not your name spelled out?
It's K-A-Y.
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 kbatesrealtor.com.
Yes, K Bates Realtor. And my website is batesrealtyca.com.
All right, let me update that on my end, batesrealty.com. Got it. So check out Kay. You can find her on Facebook or on her website and find out more about that workshop coming on February 23rd. So Kelly, hi, how's it going?
It's awesome. I love hearing all this. She's
know.
just,
I know.
she's absolutely fascinating, and thank you for bringing, women. We love our men too that are in the
know.
business, but thank you for bringing good, strong women of high ethics here, and it's great to get to know her because it's the first time I'm meeting her as well.
Yes, and like you said, you can feel the energy when Cody told me that both of you were joining me, and I see that you're both, like I said, just badass women, and you're both brokers of your own company. Like, I love that so much. So the pleasure is truly mine, and I'm really happy that you're here today. So Kelly, let's dive in with you again. Kelly Marug, she is the broker for United Real Estate San Diego, and you actually opened the first United Real Estate San Diego branch here.
So,
Right?
so yes, my co-owner, and I have to give a shout out to Jim and Kristen Long. They opened United Real Estate first. So Jim had a vision and happened to be watching Undercover Boss one night and said, "Hey, I want to look into that. I like the ethics behind him. I like the business model." And he called him up, and he opened up the first franchise here in San Diego.
So cool.
And then a little bit later, I joined them as a
Okay.
partner. So we own it together, and we work together. And like she said, our agents are our family. I mean, if you don't connect with those agents and make that emotional connection to them, they're going to be gone. There's a lot of places to work for here, and you really have to, we take our life experience that we've had and try to help them so they don't have to go through some of the hurdles we did in trying to learn from the School of Hard Knocks.
Yep.
I love that. What do you think ultimately differentiates you guys from other brokerages?
Well, one of the things we like to do is we like to make sure that our agents share a lot of the commission. We have in-house coaching.
Oh, wow.
We so I love. She's got a smaller, more niche brokerage where they're tight. I would say on the medium level. We have about 50 agents working with us. And so we really pride ourselves on helping some of those newer agents get the coaching that they need. We have an in-house transaction coordinator. We have multiple coaches. Jim and I, they can call us 24 hours a day. Often, some of the brokerages, you can't call the broker. You may not even have their
You're
cell
not going to get to
phone.
the top.
You may not even have their cell phone.
Right.
Yeah.
There may be an office manager or something, but we really want to make sure we're there for the agents. And you know what? It's in our best interest too. If our agents are happy and productive, we're going to be happy and productive, and it's good karma anyways.
Yeah. Where are you based out of?
Our office is very close, and I know this is a nasty word, but it's close to the old Charger facility.
I'm like, what are you about to say? Like, where's she going with this?
That's what I was wondering.
Yes, no offense to everybody, the Chargers are dead to me. I was a season ticket holder for many years.
R.I.P.
We've buried them.
I love Phillip Rivers, and I loved Eric Weddle, and I love all the players. The Chargers are dead to me.
Yeah, they're dead.
Sorry.
Too.
Yes, because they left us. And so now we have some more football here in town, though. So I'm a big sports fan.
Yeah.
You name the sport, I love it. I was an All-American rugby player in college.
Yes.
So yes.
That's awesome.
So I got a little sidetracked, but yeah, we're based in San Diego, close to the old Charger
The
facility.
Chargers will do that to you.
On Murphy.
I know.
I know. I'm like so passionate
And
about
I'm
it.
over here thinking, like, she got a biochemistry degree and she's over here playing rugby on the weekends, like, taking people out. Like, you are too cool. Okay.
We're hopefully in the near future we will be going to the East County.
Okay.
So a lot of us are from the East County. Do like you do we deal with a lot of rural properties, but we're all over. We're all over as well.
Yeah, no doubt. So, tell me, do you think your biochemistry background helps you in your business today in real estate?
You know, there's no doubt that it does. You know, I do get people that say, "Oh, wow, you went through all that time, all that education,
Like,
and
what a
now
waste,
it's lost,
right?
And now it's lost."
Yeah.
You know, one, education is never lost.
True.
Two, you know, in working on a degree at UCSD, it's made clear, and it's kind of the air of education is that we are not teaching you how to do a job. We are teaching you how to learn for the rest of your lives. And amazingly, I deal with a lot of scientists, engineers. And so when I'm able to talk to them on their level, and you probably know this too, when you deal with people that want to crunch the numbers and they think you're just this pretty face selling, and you're able to get the lingo, you're able to understand what their motivation is behind the numbers, it's definitely not lost. They appreciate that expertise in whether it's analysis like I did or analysis in the accounting numbers. One of my degrees is in math, so I love that part of it too.
Just one of
I don't
them.
know how you didn't even know you had two nerds here.
Yeah.
Look, I have a communication degree, and I think it's working great for me, but I don't know if that holds a candle to you two. Wow. So math, one of your degrees, got it.
Yes. So
Phenomenal. We would call her phenomenal woman.
Seriously, you two are blowing me away.
and it's one of the things, like I said, you know, in the day-to-day of us showing homes, our clients may not know that. And we're not going to toot our own horns and talk about that. But it is important that we understand that we're not just able to show homes and talk about, you know, shaker cabinets and, you know, Carrera marble, but that we understand really the everything that goes behind that, the financing, and how it's going to accentuate and help their lives in the future.
Well, and I bet on some level, I'm a firm believer in this, that you're drawing those analytical types to you because you can speak their language and you can play the game and, you know, be on their wavelength. So it's amazing how that works.
Yes.
You have a crazy cool background too. So if you wouldn't mind sharing, you were born and raised here in San Diego on an Indian reservation.
Yes.
What was that like? Please tell me everything.
Yeah, so I grew up between Ramona and Santa Isabel. My dad is Native and my mom is white. And so and it's hilarious because my grandma swore that all of her sons would marry Native women and they would live on the reservation. Well, they all married women outside of the reservation.
Yep. Sorry, Grandma.
Sorry, Grandma. It happened, and then we all happened. So it's different. It's very different. One of the things, and you know, not to be negative, but there's high poverty levels, high drug abuse. There's a lot of major socioeconomic issues on all of the reservations, even the ones that do have a lot of money. And so, you know, and I do want to give a shout out to my cousin Devon. She is the attorney for Saboba Tribe, and she has created a really neat thing for Native American kids called AIR, American Indian Recruitment. So it's trying to get Native American kids into college. You know, growing up in, you know, extreme poverty level, you tend to, one, things are just things. We still like our things. I love all my things.
Sure.
But they are not relationships, they're not people, and we can't take them with us.
Yep.
So it's it's, you know, it makes you see what really is important in life, and the relationships that you build with people ultimately are really what's the most important.
And that's what you're doing every day in your business.
And that's what we do every day. So, you know, growing up in that kind of an environment, you tend to see what's really important.
Yeah.
And, you know, we've got really neat things that Native Americans can do to get homes. It's called a 184 loan. There's not a lot of people that do it, but it's similar to a VA.
Really?
Yep. So I'm sure she knows about it, but it's a weird little niche, and so there's lots of things, and our backgrounds are what enable us to bring everything to our clients and that vast knowledge.
Yeah, and I mean, we talked about this on the phone, just witnessing hardship or experiencing hardship. Not everyone has that experience, and it does change you and shape you and, you know, mold you into what you become. And ultimately, real estate isn't easy. There are so many moving parts and you're juggling so many things, and inevitably something goes wrong, right? And to be able to calmly say, okay, here's how we're going to deal with this, and then be able to provide that for your clients so they're not freaking out. I mean, that's
Right.
invaluable, right?
Absolutely. In my last newsletter, I sent out a funny letter. It was, dear client, I know that you may think that 5 to 6% of your transaction is an incredible amount of money, and I understand how long it would take a minimum wage worker to make that. But here are 10 things about my job that you may not know. And
That's good.
Education, baby.
Yeah.
educate. Just letting them know. We don't have sick leave. We don't have retirement.
Yeah.
We have no job security. We can be fired at any minute, whereas anywhere in the rest of the working world, you can't do that.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of things. We have high assault rates.
Your taxes.
Yes. And we can't write off our clothes.
Yeah.
I know.
We can't write off our uniform.
I know, me neither. I say the same thing. What the heck? Like, I gotta look decent. Like, can I get a break?
Right. So there's a lot of things that that people don't know about our business, and they look at this $1 amount. And there are times that I may work with a client for 9 months a year without ever making a penny.
Yeah.
Right.
I may work with a client 9 months a year and not make any money.
Yeah, and
it may
never
not
go
work
through.
out. So there's a lot of things that we like to educate our clients about in what we do, and not just looking at that number, but the whole scheme of what the history and our experience brings to the table for them.
No doubt. So if somebody wants to reach you, we can go to kellymurug.com, right?
Yes.
Do you want to give out a phone number, Facebook page, any other types of resources people might want to know about?
Yeah, on Facebook we have a San Diego Buyer and Seller Resource Network, or just Kelly Murug. That's my personal one. That's where I wind up posting a lot of stuff as well, because, as realtors, there's not really a work life and a home life.
Right.
It's kind of all in one.
Yeah.
So that, or 619-200-0859. Anytime I answer my phone. Quite often, unless I am at a dedicated family time or a dedicated client meeting time.
Absolutely. And that's just such a good point. So kellymurug.com. Kelly Murug. I will never forget the time that you came here on Listed Live and you were like, it's like my rug. Like, it's just my rug.
It's like my rug.
My
Think of
rug.
my rug.
So good. So kellymurug.com. But I want to summarize because we are getting ready to wrap up here today. So, Kay, I want to come back to you. And if people who are listening are going to take away one golden nugget or tip for today, what do you want them to remember?
I keep it real.
Keep it real.
Yeah, I'm authentic. I do what I say I'm going to do. I'll tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to show you what I'm going to do, and then I'm going to tell you what I'm going to do. So I'm going to repeat the cycle so you're going to know and you can hold me honest. I enjoy what I do because I love the interaction, the client interaction, and I like teaching people because to me, buying a house isn't, it is the largest asset that people would acquire. However, it goes so much deeper than that. It's definitely about a legacy, right? It's about something you can pass on to your children, to your children's children. And so sometimes I think we don't think about those things. So just so you know, I'll be that person. I can do that for you. I thrive on making sure other people are happy. I love the fact that I can tell my clients, don't worry about it. Let me go home and stress about it. And you can just show up tomorrow and sign, because I thrive on that. I love being an advocate for my clients.
Yeah.
I think that's the biggest thing we can do is be advocate for our clients, teach them. A lot of what we do, if we don't know it ourselves, and I like what you said, just about, showing people, showing up, answering your phones. I mean, there's agents I call,
They don't ever
they don't
return our
answer
call.
their phone, and if you leave a voicemail, they don't return your phone call.
That's frustrating.
So I understand why the public, there's so much different things going on, and people think they can sell their house themselves or buy a house
Right.
on their own. The reality is, if you have somebody, an advocate who's working on your behalf, who's dedicated, committed, have high expectations, can also inform you on the things you should do and shouldn't do, that would be me. Call me. But that would definitely what I'd like to let them know.
Yeah, that's amazing. And once again, you can find her at batesrealtyca.com. That's batesrealtyca.com. So first off, real quick, what up, Derek? He's giving us the what's up.
What's up,
That's
Derek?
D Money in the house. And Randy Sandoval said, great job, Kelly.
Hey, Randy. He's
Hey, Randy.
a fellow tribal member
Oh, nice.
awesome.
Yes.
See, we got people
and
in the
fire
tribe
chief,
watching.
and he's a fire chief. So, what up to the fire world too?
love
My
it.
husband's a fire chief,
Yeah.
and so we've got a lot of our fire family out there watching. I'm sure.
Does your husband know he's coming on later?
Randy, you better not tell Ernie. So my husband's working up in San Bernardino, so like.
We joked, I was like, I'm going to let the cat out of the bag if you haven't already, Kelly, so make sure he watches.
Yeah, I'm sure Randy will tune in.
But Kelly, same question. What would you like people to take away about you today?
You know, we share the same values. I pride myself on being ethical, not only on my side of the transaction, but on the other side as well. I'm going to deal with this woman. It may not be today, but tomorrow or next month or next year, we're going to have a transaction in common. And I want her to be able to go to her clients and say, you know what, I've dealt with this person before, and I know where they stand. They're not going to try and do anything negative. You know, sometimes there's a saying, the cheap comes out expensive. So if you think you're going to discount, you know, I'm not going to mention any of the big discount brokerages, but often the cheap does come out expensive. So it's not easy what we do. Yeah. You know, we earn every penny of what we make, and the many, many years that we've put into crafting and working on this skill set that we have really sets us apart. 90% of agents don't have any productivity. So there's really just a very small percentage of us who can call this a full-time job and who really do 90% of the transactions. And so I think a lot of us are moving to where we're trying to be ethical in all realms of it. Not only is it the right thing to do, but that ultimately protects our client. Yeah. If we tell them, you have to disclose that.
Right.
That's not something you can hide. We're protecting them. They may not want to say that they had a cracked slab repaired last year, but it's ethical. And it's ultimately protecting them. And that's our job as a fiduciary. And that's what we pride ourselves on in good working relationships with our buyers, our sellers, and the other agents. And again, with the escrow and title and lenders that we're working with for this, we have to have them as a key part of this transaction. If we can't trust them to do their part of the job and make sure that that loan is going to get closed on time, there's a lot of big banks that people can go to, but when we have these local lenders, it's somebody our buyers and sellers can look at in the eye, be held accountable. They're there for us nights and weekends. Whereas a lot of these big banks and big national companies can't be there like our local people and these local escrow companies that help support us and support our buyers and sellers.
Yeah, I mean, they're an extension of you, ultimately.
Yeah, absolutely. They're part of our team.
No doubt.
Definitely part of the team.
So that's Kelly Marug. You can find her at kellymarug.com. That's with 2 G's, kellymarug.com, and she's a broker at United Real Estate San Diego. You guys, if you couldn't feel the energy just coming through your computer screen or your mobile phone right now, I don't know what to tell you other than I think you're going to have to call these 2 awesome ladies and get to know them a little bit better and see for yourself. So thank you both so much for being here today.
Thank you for having us.
Really appreciate it. Had a lot of fun. And thank you to everyone who watched with us live. Randy says he's not going to let the cat out of the bag, by the way. He said, okay, I won't.
Good. Thank you, Randy.
Yeah. And this has been Real Market Movers on Real Talk San Diego, coming to you live from Smarter San Diego Studios. As always, we're bringing you the business of life in America's finest city. I'm Claire McKee. Go love everyone, and we'll see you next time. Thanks for watching.